This is Jerome Braggs with JeromeBraggs.com, and I wanted to come and speak about something that I hear a lot in spiritual circles that I wanted to address because my understanding around it dramatically shifted in my healing journey after my near death experience. And what shifted for me around this changed my entire life and how I go through my journey. So what I'm talking about here is this concept that you've heard. If you're a seasoned spiritual seeker, you've heard this many times. You've probably said it a few times, and this is that everything is serving me, right? And when we look at, or everything is here to serve me, right? Whatever experience, and we say this when, usually when some type of negative experience has come up or some type of challenging experience has come up. It's a way that we try to shift into the positive around that and say, well, this is here to serve me, so I'm going to go through this. And while the core kind of approach to that I do not disagree with, I want to speak to some of the elements that are underneath this statement that are not really in alignment with how your soul sees things. And then I want to speak to you about how our soul sees this and the shift that I got from this. And so the big thing is when we think about something is here to serve me, what we're really trying to say underneath this is that there's a lesson here for me, right? I'm here. There's a lesson in this that I'm supposed to get. And when I get this lesson, I'll learn and then I'll change from this lesson. And why I want to shift us out of this kind of perspective around there's a lesson that the universe is trying to teach me a lesson through this, or my soul is trying to teach me a lesson. It's because this is what I learned after my near-death experience, was that the universe doesn't teach lessons. And I've done some videos around this before, but the universe doesn't teach lessons because the concept of teaching you a lesson is coming from a place of viewing you as being incomplete, viewing you as something missing from you that needs to be added to you in order for you to be more complete. And your soul does not view you that way. Your soul knows that you are whole. Your soul knows that there's nothing missing from you. There's no wisdom missing from you. There is no worthiness missing from you. There is no capability missing from you. There is just things to embody and express more from the soul's experience, not anything to be taught, right? There's just something to be expressed, which I'll circle back around to here in a second. But this is the first thing. So when we think about something is here to serve me, this is usually what we're talking about. This is here to teach me a lesson some type of way. And I wanted you to kind of wipe that from your system of understanding why challenges and things happen to us, because the universe is not trying to teach you anything or make you learn a lesson, because the universe does not see anything missing from you. It sees you as complete. It sees you as a part of itself. It sees you as whole and only needing to be more expressed and to expand your expression of yourself. And that is what I learned after my near-death experience, because my whole near-death experience was about learning that we are loved unconditionally, and we are not just loved unconditionally, we are the energy of unconditional love itself. That is literally what we are. We are the energy of unconditional love in human form, having a human experience. And so coming from this understanding, when I went through my healing journey, what I began to understand is that it's not that this is here to teach me anything. It's that everything is here to serve me. What I now say is everything is trying to help me expand. Everything is trying to help me expand. And let me describe this a little bit where I'm coming from. So the main mission and purpose of the soul incarnating into a human experience is to have the experience of being the love energy that we are in this form, right? And not just to have the experience of it. This is why you've heard me say that our main purpose here is to express ourselves, our truest self, our most authentic self. It's not to achieve anything necessarily. And whatever we achieve, if it's not helping us express more of ourselves, then it's not serving a higher purpose, if you will. But what we're here to do is really be ourselves. That's really it. But there's another part of that. We're here to be ourselves, and we're here to live a life that nourishes us so that who we are, the energy and the consciousness of the soul that we are, expands. It's supposed to grow, right? It's not supposed to stay the same. It's supposed to get bigger. And we put ourselves in, and so the soul will put itself in situations where it is, where we might experience contrast or resistance, because contrast and resistance helps it expand. And I'll do another video about why that is later, but this is why we're here. So what our challenges come to help us do is everything in life actually is here to either help expand the energy of the soul, right? Your frequency, your unique frequency, and your consciousness. And what I mean by consciousness is, the consciousness and the energy of the soul is love. It is love. So you are to become a bigger version of love than you were before. Each year, you're to become a bigger version of love than you were the year before. And so your situations are really here to help you expand into that. And what they will do is either they will come and nourish that, right? They will feed the energy. They will help you feel more love. So they will help you feel more at ease, more free, more worthy, more joyous or happy. They'll help you feel more empowered, more clear, like all these all these vibrational facets of the energy of love. Or they'll help you believe that that all is well, or that you are enough just as you are, or that you are lovable and loved and safe in this world, or that this world is a safe place to express all of yourself. Like, these are thoughts of in the consciousness of love. These are some of the beliefs of the consciousness of love. So these are supposed to expand, right? They're supposed to get bigger and more solidly anchored in our bodies. So some of our experiences come to help us do that. Some experiences, though, usually the ones that help us do that, nourish it, that feed it, that help that, like, give us a good feeling and expand those feelings in us, those are very good feeling experiences. Those are very high vibrational experiences. But those aren't the only experiences that we have as human beings in this lifetime. We also have experiences that also are trying to help us expand. But rather than nourishing us, these experiences are coming to shine a very big light on us to help us see where we are in resistance to our expansion. Where we, instead of expanding ourselves, we are suppressing ourselves. Instead of nourishing, the energy and consciousness of our soul, we are draining it or depleting it or diminishing it somehow. And these situations are the situations that are painful. These are the situations that do not feel good. And this is also where suffering, right, where it's coming from. We have been not expanding for a while, and that has grown and grown and grown the pain. Because just like anything else, just like if you think about a flower, if a flower stays tight in a tight area, that is very painful for the flower. It's supposed to grow. A plant is supposed to grow and expand, and if it doesn't grow and expand, it starts to die. This is the same thing with us. So our painful experiences come to show us that we are not allowing ourselves. We're staying too tight somehow, and we're not allowing ourselves to expand. And expansion is where health is, and expansion is where heaven is. Heaven, the feeling of heaven is in our expansion. And our body's health depends on our ability to expand the energy of our soul within it. When we're not expanding that energy, when we're not, when we're drained or suppressing it or diminishing it or hiding our light or all of those things, that causes us to experience a lot of pain. And when we do it chronically, that's where suffering starts to come in many different forms: disease, dysfunction, crisis, all of those things. So that's what it actually is about. Every aspect of life is trying to help you expand. And it's either doing so by nourishing you, or it's shining a light on where in your consciousness or your behavioral patterns or your vibrational patterns or your environment you are offering things that are not allowing your expansion but inhibiting it. So instead of saying everything is here to serve me, try saying instead everything is here to try and help me expand. And when you're in the midst of a challenge, a great question to ask to help you begin to see what the message is behind this challenge that will help you move from the challenge into your expansion is, how is this here to help me expand? How is this here to help me expand? What is this trying to show me about my expansion or my resistance to my expansion? Try those questions on and see how they help elevate your spiritual growth and your journey into having heaven on earth, which is what you deserve. Until next time, much love.